Hi everyone, it's Meredith Brown, your digital trainer for today's Meredith's Matchbox, and also co-founder, co-owner of Authors Ignite, along with my mom, Deborah Brown, and our great friend, Jessica Nash. And I'm here today from my house in Hinesville. It's a rainy day, so the light is a bit dark, but bear with. Also, I hope you're all feeling the Halloween spirit, as I clearly am with my blue wig and my ribcage overalls today. Also, if you hear any jingle jangle noises, we have a new cat. He's in the background. Hopefully they're going to be good because they're sleeping right now, but sometimes they're not good. So just wanted to let everyone know. Also, if you're joining me on the live or if you're watching this on the replay, please comment in the comment box and let me know. You could say hi or whatever. And I am streaming today from StreamYard. So if you do say hello, just leave your name along with your comment so that I can see who you are. But if you're watching this on the replay, I'll probably see your name in the comments because I'll be on Facebook then. So if you have any questions, also comments, concerns, anything like that, let me know in the comment box. But if not, I'm going to talk about one of my most favorite subjects today, and I'm just going to get in. Hi, Jessica. So today we're going to talk about NaNoWriMo. If you guys don't know what that is, it's National Novel Writing Month. And even though we haven't quite reached Halloween yet, Nano starts in November. It's the month of November. You write 50,000 words in a month, and it's one of my favorite months of the year. Halloween is right up there, and Nano to me is like a holiday season. It's super fun. I'm very excited for Nano, and I attempt it every year. So let's get in how to prepare for NaNoWriMo. And I have my notes here, so forgive me if I look down or if you see them. First of all, NaNoWriMo, I explained a little bit, 50,000 words in the month of November. But what that means is that essentially you would have to write just under 1,700 words a day in order to meet the word count goal. It is actually 1,666 0.6666666 words per day in order to meet the word count goal. And if you do that, then I actually think that you finish maybe a couple days, like November 28th or something. You finish a little bit early if you do 1,700 words a day. And I do know that it's possible because one of my good friends, Elizabeth, does it every year, and I'm pretty sure she's won every single year she's done it. You're only competing against yourself. You're not competing against anyone else, but winning is writing the full amount of words. So it works. Nano works for a lot of people because not only does it show you what you're capable of, which is writing an entire novel in a month, but it gives you that incentive to go ahead and get started and to write the novel you've been wanting to write or write something that you love. So you definitely don't want to underestimate the power of community for accountability, and tons of people do Nano. They have a website. Also, none of this is like sponsored. I just love Nano, so I wanted you guys to know about it. But they have a website, nanowrimo.org, and you can get an account and join up and see the forums and all of that stuff and decide whether it's right for you. It's definitely a challenge, but the thing that's good about it, especially for me, because I have like an inner editor when I write, is that you're supposed to just write straight through and not edit anything until you're done with the month. So you save all of the revision and editing for later, and this is literally just your first draft. You're just getting it out. And that works for me. That works for a lot of people. Whether that's your normal way of writing or not. So yesterday, Jessica talked to you guys about word count and showed you a really awesome tool that she created for you, and I think has also linked it in the comments here. So definitely check that out if you missed it. It was a Tuesday tutorial posted up yesterday at 1 p.m. And then my mom, Deborah Brown, and I have done Nano several times. Together. We don't write our books jointly together, but we do it at the same time, right? So we've done it before together. And so these are some of our tips that we've learned the hard way along the way of doing Nano. So I want to save you that hard stuff. Jessica says, I added the link to the word count worksheet above. Yes, thank you, Jessica. It's great. And it matches Nano's theme, which is always like outer space and whatever. So I was kind of feeling that today with the space buns and the outer space hair. So anyway, okay, so jumping right in. Number 1, you want to decide if the timing is right for you. There's no need to join and set yourself up for failure if you're already at your limit for the year. You don't have to do Nano, and they have other events throughout the year that you can join in on, including Camp Nano. I think they do it in April and once in the summer. So keep that in mind. If it's not the right time for you, that's totally fine, and I understand. But, you know, there's always next year, and that's fine. But if you are going to participate this year, please let me know in the comments. I would love to be your friend on the website on Nano, and we can like keep each other accountable, and you can see all of the times since 2004, I think, that I've attempted Nano and not ever won, but that's okay because I'm trying. I think Authors Ignite here in the group would be a great place to find a writing buddy. So you can drop like what you're writing or your handle on NaNoWriMo.org or whatever you want and try to find a writing buddy. Well, I guess with Corona, it would have to be virtual and not in person. But in past years, there's really fun things called write-ins where everybody gets together at a cafe and writes for like an hour or so, but probably won't happen this year. We can do virtual write-ins. And if you guys want to do any virtual events for Nano, definitely let me know. We can work that out for sure. Anyway, so if you do participate, by the end of the month of November, you're going to have a rough draft of a novel finished that you can refine and edit and rework or whatever needs to be done. And then, you know, you've done a novel in 2020, which is more than a lot of people can say, even during quarantine. So that would be huge. And also, like, if you like the process and you find that maybe you don't need as much internet encouragement, you might want to repeat this process again yourself. You could do Nano in December, you could do Nano in January, however you want to do it. And they do have suggestions for how to edit after the fact. So the website's super useful. So just let me know in the comments if you're going to do it. And I would love to be your buddy. It's called a buddy on there, a writing buddy. So, and if you are interested in a virtual event, please let us know. So number 2 is signing up officially at NaNoWriMo.org. If you do want to be part of the community, there's several reasons I would suggest signing up instead of just doing it on your lonesome. First of all, when I first started doing Nano, I don't remember there being a website at all. We just kind of did it, I think. And there was like a newsletter and you would get pep talks. Now that is something that they still do that I find very useful. It's like virtual support that you get right to your email inbox from famous authors. So they're called pep talks. And it's just every week you're going to get one from someone who's been there many a time and knows what you're going through. And it actually is super useful advice and information in the pep talks. Also, you can utilize their forum. They do word count prompts to up your word count, things like that. And you can also join your local NaNoWriMo group. That's where those write-ins would come in. You would just go to nanowrimo.org/regions. And then like I'm in the Savannah region, obviously. So you would have a region wherever you are. And I'm actually right in between 2 different regions because of where I live. So I could either join the Savannah region or the Golden Isles region. And I just chose Savannah because at the time it had more people. But the Golden Isles region is home to a lot of our favorite things, including the Southeastern Writers Association conference that happens at St. Simon's. So if you live down near there, that's a great option for you too. Okay. Moving on. Number 3. This is hugely important. This is where you want to determine your schedule for writing, okay? So you want to look at your calendar ahead of time and decide like when you're going to write, where and how, okay? So are you going to get up an hour earlier in the morning? Are you going to stay up an hour later at night? Or are you going to give up watching something on Netflix and write instead? Just decide how you want to do it. You could write during your lunch hour at work if that's an option for you. Anything. So you just need to break down how you're going to break up those 50,000 words in the month, right? So are you planning on doing the 1,700 words a day? I mean, that is what? 1,700 divided by 250. If someone wants to check the math, that's how many pages it would be. So it's very doable. I think it's like 5 pages, but I can't do math, so I'm very sorry if I'm wrong. That's an option. Or you could do the Weekend Warrior option where you write 12,500 words during the weekend. And it's definitely up to you which you choose. There is also a technique where you time yourself. Excuse me. You time yourself typing for a minute and you see how many words you can write in a minute. And then you can determine how many words per minute you would need to make your 1,700 words a day or 12,500 words for the weekend. And that would let you know how long you need to write every day. So however you decide to do it, definitely stay committed, set an alarm on your phone, whatever you need to do to get this done. Because if you get behind, it's very hard to catch back up. It's hard to give yourself the encouragement to catch back up. I know from personal experience. Number 4, this one's pretty huge. Understand that there is no writing ahead of time with Nano. You cannot start adding to your word count until November 1st at midnight, 12:01, midnight, I think. And on the website, NaNoWriMo.org, they have a very useful word count tool where you can just copy and paste your entire manuscript and it'll do a word count for you. It might be slightly different than what's on your word processor, but there you have it. So you definitely don't want to have any writing done before November 1st. If you wanted to work on something like a series that you've already started, that's fine. You just don't want to include what you've already written in your word count for the month. Number 5 is to know your genre. This one's useful, especially if you're like me, you're a pantser. And you just fly by the seat of your pants. You don't necessarily have a plan for what you're going to write. So if you do want to decide your genre ahead of time, you can look at the top 100 books on Amazon or browse the aisles at the bookstore to have an idea of what your book might fit into, what genre your book might fit into. And also like what is selling right now. And you can let us know in the comments what genre you'll be writing, and you might find a writing buddy who's writing the same thing. So I'm probably going to be writing horror. I usually do. Or I guess you could say fantasy. It's largely fantasy based. It's not like a realistic horror. So if that helps, if anybody wants to be my writing buddy, definitely do that. And then a caveat to like not writing ahead of time, this is number 6, is that you can do some prep work beforehand. How extensively you prepare is up to you, whether you're a pantser like me or a plotter or something in between. I think I've seen it called a plotzer. I think it's a plotzer or a something panter or something. Anyway, planter. Basically, if you're a combination of the two, that's what that is. So what I usually do, again, is just jump in at the last minute. A lot of my works don't have any title because I have no idea what I'm writing, things like that. But you do end up losing a lot of valuable writing time, especially on day one if you don't have a plan. I have gone into it before with a plan and got a lot more written. So it's up to you. I think that two things that you could do ahead of time to make life so much easier on November 1st when you get started, no matter your writing style, is to, one, have an idea of your plot, and two, know your characters. So with knowing your plot, like Mom, for example, she likes to know how her novel starts and how it's going to end. And she likes to have a title as like an anchor, like the feel of the novel, right? I've seen how she writes in general when it's not Nano, and she's the type of person who creates an outline that is so thorough and extensive that it's almost like Mad Libs, like just plugging in the words that fill it out, that flesh it out. Again, I'm a pantser, so I just come up with a line that I think is a really solid first line, honestly, and go from there and see where the story takes me. And, you know, sometimes I have an idea of what I'm writing, like a basic plot of, oh, this is going to be a cabin in the woods horror story. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But a lot of times it's just flowing. It's free flowing. You can still let the story take a life of its own, even if you do have an outline. It's totally fine to change things. Just definitely keep in mind that being prepared makes things a lot faster. And then number two, the second part of that was know your characters. And this is why I think as a pantser, I'm able to write, is I feel like even when I get started writing, once I put words on a page, the characters are so clear to me, I know everything about them. They just come into my head fully formed. I don't know if that's normal or if most people have to struggle to find a backstory, but I usually know everything about them and their history. It's definitely important to know that stuff so that you know how they would react to things. And go ahead and make a character list of everything about them. So when you're writing super fast and you're on a word count deadline, you know, having all of the little details like their eye color and their middle name and all that stuff on a list is going to make it super useful, super easy for you to keep writing and not knock you out of your writing zone. And you can also do like sample photos, like a mood board or something like that of your characters, if that helps you, on Pinterest or whatever. And then you want to know the character arcs, sort of like how you want them to be at the beginning and how you want them to end. There should be growth always. They should change emotionally from the beginning to the end somehow. So you want to write down where they start and where they're going to end. And then a big part of that, in my opinion, also is, you know, I read a really good tip that knowing your character really well, especially if they're the hero of your story, right, means that you can then take those positives about them and flip them into their negatives. So this would be their character flaws. So if someone is just a really great hard worker and, you know, just great at their job, then maybe they're also a workaholic and actually don't spend enough time with their family and friends. Or if someone is very loyal to their family and friends, they're just like very loyal, then they also might be very unbending and they might expect the same of everyone else. And if you're not like that, then you're gone, you're toxic. So it's just some things to keep in mind for your character. And then also a quick tip, if you know you're going to need to do research for your story, try and do it ahead of time. Or if you're a pantser and you discover you need to do research as you're writing, put like a highlighted yellow note in or something and come back to it later. Try not to waste your time on the internet doing research when you could be writing. So if you have an idea for your story, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear anything you might already have, character, title, genre, whatever it is. I think that would be great to know. But moving right along, number 7. If you need some help getting started, even though she's a bit controversial lately, J.K. Rowling does have a good writing setup. Mom's going to post a sample of her notes in the comments later, but she starts with a plan, and for each chapter, she starts by defining the month in which the action takes place. And that's helpful because, especially if your story is told chronologically, which it probably is, then you just have an idea of time always throughout, right? So you can keep everything straight of when everything happens. And then she'll put a title for a chapter, the main action of the plot, and then add separate columns for each action of each contributing subplot. So obviously it takes time to plan things out in such detail. So now would be the time to work out this plan. And if you drew a chart like this, this wouldn't count towards your word count. This is just planning. This is your outline. So you might want to go ahead and give it a try. And it also helps you flesh out all of your subplots and not have any hanging threads at the end. Number 8 is kind of what I said earlier. This is all about quantity, not quality for once. So definitely save the editing for later. Just get everything out right now. If it's misspelled, if there are typos, if things change, that's okay. Just get it out. Get it down. Number 9 is to log into Nano and input your word count every single day, because they actually have a little chart that shows your word count rising, and it's very heartening to see that number go up and see that line go up. So it just makes you feel good. And it shows you that you are making progress even if you feel stuck. Number 10, I want to encourage you to be flexible. Even if you have a rough plan or a rough outline, you can let the story change. You can let your ideas change. You can let your characters change. If you realize things aren't working out in whatever direction you want it to go, change it. Throw something new and throw a wrench in the works. Anything, like change it up. It's okay to move chapters around. It's okay to change how you tell the story. Move when events happen. You can change the ending. You can change the beginning. You can change the middle. You can change anything you want. That's totally fine. Just be flexible. If you're writing a mystery, Mom says to keep in mind that the real murderer may surprise you, and it may not be who you initially planned in your outline. And if that happens, if it surprises even you, it's definitely going to surprise your reader. So keep that one. That's a good one. Okay. And lastly, before we go, I had to do a little pose. I just want to say it's hugely important to go ahead and get your tools ready ahead of time. Number 11, this is tip number 11. If you have a keyboard that's missing keys or is sticky because you spilled coffee on it once, or like me, nail polish, get a new keyboard. They have them cheap at Walmart. You can just plug it into your computer. If you have a laptop, that's a little different. I'm not sure what laptop maintenance would be like, but I personally love getting a brand new notebook and new pens to write all my ideas down, especially if I'm out and about and I'm not at my computer. I want to write down if something comes into my head. Mom has a whiteboard that she used where she puts like key points on her whiteboard. I have it here, but I don't want to spoil her plot. But it's sitting right next to me, and I can see like the names of the characters. Look, she got arrows. Like, it's not neat. It's messy, and that's good because that's how it should be, so you can get all your ideas out. I personally use Scrivener. I really love Scrivener because it has all on the same page. You have your writing, and then you have your research, and then you can have like ideas, or you can have a separate folder of, where things could go, or different story threads, or anything like that. So that's really helpful for me. You definitely want to have lots of water, maybe a Brita pitcher handy, because you don't want to get dehydrated. That ruins the creative process, ruins it completely. And coffee is great, but it does not necessarily hydrate you, sadly, because caffeine itself is dehydrating. But definitely keep your coffee pots, your tea bags, your Keurig nearby. That's hugely important for when you need them, especially if you're writing extra early or extra late. And that's it. We've covered all of my tips for NaNoWriMo. I hope that it got you guys interested in trying it out. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if you're going to give it a try. Let us know your name on the website and we can be buddies. We are a little time delayed on my comments, so I'm going to check the comments after I finish immediately and make sure I didn't miss anything. But the bottom line is that Mom and I have done Nano. Sometimes we reach our goal of 50,000 words. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we were committed to making it, and that is kind of what made the difference. Honestly, you get way more writing done when you're committed to it and you have a plan. So we didn't pick a time where we were set up to fail because of other commitments. And even if you don't make it, you're still a winner because you're trying and you're getting stuff done and you're writing. That's the important part. You're a writer. This is writing. So you have a lot more words. Even if you only write 2 words, you have a lot more words done than you would if you hadn't tried it all, right? So Mom and I are going to participate this year. Again, I'm doing horror. Mom's probably going to do a cozy mystery based on her whiteboard. Let us know if you're going to participate. We can be writing buddies. We can find genre buddies in the group. And that's it for today. I definitely want to remind you guys to check out our Ignite system for holiday marketing. It's a done-for-you go-to holiday marketing in a box system, along with a guidebook, a 37-page guidebook, and videos, tutorial videos to help you guys out. And we show you step-by-step how to do things. It also has our tried and true strategies, plans, tips, and a lot of priority dates and 150 holiday templates for you to use and mix and match and things like that. So definitely give that a look. The link will be in the comments. And until next time, remember that your book is the fuse and branding is the match. And we here at Authors Ignite are going to help you ignite your business, branding, and profitability. And keep writing, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.